Welcome to the SI Academy. So today we're starting about the class 10th 7th chapter, control and coordination. Next subtopic is called as immediate response to stimulus. In last class we discussed that the stimulus. Okay, what is the meaning of stimulus? So sudden changes in the something response to the changes in the environment is called as what? Stimulus. What is stimulus? Sudden response to the changes in the environment is called as a stimulus. Let us think about the first kind of movement, such as that sensitive plant. Okay, there are two types of movements. We studied that. One is what? Plant growth dependent movement. One is growth dependent, another one is growth dependent, another one is growth independent of growth. Two types of plant movement comes. One is a growth moment, another one is a independent of growth moment. So first we'll discussing about movement due to growth. Since no growth is involved, so first we'll can discussing about the what sensitive plant. In case of how plants communicate with each other, especially in case of there is no involvement of growth. We are two types of movements. One is the growth moment and is a growth dependent moment, another is a growth independent moment. First we'll discuss about the there is no involvement of growth. That type of moment we have to discuss, especially in the case of what sensitive plant or a touch me not plant. Since no growth is involved in the plant, must actually moves it lives in response to touch. Okay, when we touch the sensitive plant, this is called as what sensitive plant. This plant is called touch me not plant or a this touch me not plant or sensitive plant. When we touch it, there is no growth related means, so the leaves are to be response to the touch. When there is no growth related movement, so when we touch it means, so there should be moving of the leaves according to the touch. But there is no nervous tissue, or any muscle tissue. How does the plant detects the touch, and how does the leaves moves in response? Okay, next question comes here. When we touch the touch me not plant, it will moves its leaves like this. Okay, so next question arises here. When we touched the leaves, so they will changing their shape and position. So next question arises here. Plant does not contain any kind of nervous tissue as well as the muscles. Then how it is moving, how it is responding to the touch, so how this information is carrying. So this all type of questions comes here. So means there is no special type of nervous tissue as well as the muscles, means how these are communicating. Next question arises here. This is the main question. So in your exam, the question will comes, how plant cells or a plant communicate with each other. Okay, this is the question, how plant communicate with each other. Okay, when we touched this part, so the leaves is in the earlier is in this direction. The leaves are in the earlier in this position. When we touch this part, again they will changing their its position. So they are changing their position means, how they are changing the positions means they are communicating with each other, because they touched here and the remaining leaves are also changing here its position, means they are communicating with each other. So which method they are using to communicate with each other, that you have to study here. Again the information is transferring from one leaves to the another leaves and one part to the another part. Okay, that all type of questions you have to study here. Okay, the plant also use electrical chemical means to convey this information from cell to cell. Again important, remember that how plant cell communicate means the plant cell communicate with which method? Electrical chemical method, by convey the information from cell to cell. Plant using the which method to convey the message from cell to cell means we can write electrical chemical method. So they use this method to convey the message from cell to cell. Okay, so the plant cells use which method? Electrical chemical method. Electrical chemical method. Okay, so which method they are using? Electrical chemical method they are using to convey the message from cell to cell. Remember that, which method? Electrical chemical method. But unlike in animals, there is no special tissue in plant cell for the conduction of information. Again question comes here, there is no special tissue in plants for the conduction of information, for gathering of the information or collecting the information, for plants to store the information, which then how it will gathering or a conducting of the information. Finally, again as in animals, some cells must change their shape in order for the movement of happen. Okay, so in animal cells we know that the information is carried or doing the activity by changing their shape, but instead in plants there is no tissue as well as the no nervous tissue. How these information is gathered or conducted?